Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a vicious cycle when it comes to your health? Especially with something like high uric acid? It can feel like a chain reaction that leads to some serious discomfort. But what if I told you the key to breaking that cycle isn't in some complicated prescription, but it's sitting right there in your kitchen? Okay, let's dive in and find out which foods can help you fight back.
So, first things first, what in the world is uric acid anyway? Well, it's actually a totally normal waste product. Your body creates it when it breaks down these chemical compounds called purines, which are found in a ton of different foods. Under normal circumstances, your kidneys just, filter it out. No problem. The trouble starts when those levels get way too high.
And that's what brings us to this whole concept of a vicious cycle. See, it all begins with what we put on our plate. It can set off this domino effect inside our bodies that's really tough to stop, unless, of course, you know exactly how to interrupt it. Let's just walk through it together. Step 1. You eat foods that are high in those purines we talked about, like red meat or maybe have a few alcoholic drinks. Step 2. As a result, the uric acid levels in your blood start to climb. Step 3. Your kidneys, our amazing natural filtration system, they just get totally overwhelmed. They can't keep up. And that final step? Well, it can be a painful one. All that extra uric acid starts to form these sharp, needle-like crystals in your joints, and that's what leads to a condition called gout. The most important thing to remember here is that this whole cycle is absolutely preventable.
So that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? How do you actually step in, break that cycle, and take back control of your health? Well, the answer, as we're about to find out, is all about choosing the right foods to give your body the support it needs.
All right, first up, we're going to talk about your body's very own cleanup crew. I'm talking about the foods that literally help your system flush out all that excess uric acid before it has a chance to cause any trouble. Think of them as reinforcements for your hard-working kidneys. So who's on our flushing team today? We've got 4 absolute power players: good old-fashioned water, crisp cucumbers, vibrant bell peppers, and all those zesty citrus fruits. And trust me, each one plays a super important, unique role.
You know, the difference here is just stark. It couldn't be more clear. On one side, you've got water. It's the absolute MVP. It helps your kidneys do their job at peak efficiency, flushing everything out. And on the other side, alcohol. It does the complete opposite. It actually dehydrates you, which makes it way harder for your kidneys to filter waste. The choice here is pretty obvious, right?
96%. What do you think that is? That is the incredible amount of water packed into a single cucumber. But it's not just about the hydration. Cucumbers also have these special enzymes that actually help slow down your body's production of uric acid in the first place. So you're getting a real 2-for-1 benefit here.
Now, check out this number, 169%. That's how much of your daily recommended vitamin C you can get from just one bell pepper. When you think about that, plus their super high water content, what you've got is an absolutely elite tool for flushing waste right out of your bloodstream. This number really drives home the power of citrus. A massive 20-year-long study found that for every 500 milligram boost in daily vitamin C, the risk of developing gout dropped by an amazing 17%. So how does it work? Well, vitamin C basically sends a signal to your kidneys, telling them to get better and more efficient at removing uric acid. Pretty cool, huh?
Okay, let's switch gears a little bit. We've talked about the foods that flush things out. Now, let's talk about the foods that fight. These are your body's defenders, the foods that actively go to battle against inflammation and help prevent those painful crystals from even forming in the first place.
And our list of fighters includes some real champions. We're talking about delicious cherries, antioxidant-packed berries, crunchy celery, and powerful broccoli. These guys are on the offensive, actively working to protect your joints.
35%. I love this statistic because it's so practical. A study with over 600 people found that eating just 10 cherries a day was linked to a 35% lower risk of gout attacks, and things like tart cherry juice have shown similarly incredible results. It's amazing. So what's the magic behind berries? It really comes down to a special compound called anthocyanins. Now that's a big word, but what they do is simple. They give berries their beautiful rich color, but more importantly, they act like a shield, physically preventing uric acid from turning into those painful crystals in your joints. They stop the problem right at the source. Celery has its own secret weapon, and it's a compound called luteolin. The best way to think about it is like a firefighter. When uric acid sets off an inflammatory alarm in your body, luteolin rushes in to calm everything down.
It does this by lowering the production of an inflammation-causing chemical called nitric oxide.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground. We've met the foods that flush and the foods that fight. So now let's put it all together. Let's turn this knowledge into a simple, proactive mission for your long-term health and well-being.
So here it is, your 4-step action plan. And it's really straightforward. First, make those flushing foods a part of your daily routine. Second, start incorporating those fighting foods to help defend your body. Third, be really mindful of those high-purine triggers like red meat and alcohol. And finally, number 4, and this is the foundation for everything, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate.
You know, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? We spend so much time looking for complicated solutions, but so much of the power is already in our hands. It's in the daily choices we make. The best medicine you could ever take, really, is the foods you eat, especially when it's part of an active, healthy life.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. That's not how lasting change works. Just look back at what we've talked about and ask yourself, what's one small, totally doable change you can commit to this week? Maybe it's just adding some bell peppers to your salad or swapping one soda for a big glass of water. That one little step, that's the beginning of your wellness mission.